welcome again. I'm going to go through what will be our agenda today and what we will be discussing, what we want to share with all of you. Again, welcome all. So today's conversation is about EFI's social responsibility certification and the connection it has with IPM standards. Want to explain to you a little bit more on as an EFI social responsibility certification program, we also offer the option for those interested to be certified in integrated pest management standards as well. You will see throughout this presentation, and you'll hear me using the acronym IPM. IPM stands for Integrated Pest Management Standards. So we call IPM the standards in short, because that can be quite a long name, Integrated Pest Management Standards. So just a kind reminder about that. Also, so we want to share how we see that standard and that part of the agricultural industry process that is so relevant and so connected to EFI social responsibility certification program. And there's a number of reasons why we encourage our growers, our EFI certified and also potential new growers to choose the IPM standards to be certified, because there is a fundamental connection with farm workers or workers, and we want to make sure that workers are taken care of. So we'll talk about a little bit more. Also, I will be sharing the key aspects of EFI's, I'll say R, but of EFI's integrated pest management standards. I want to share with you what is the certification about. We'll give you some general details about the standards. Also, where are those standards, where you can find them within the EFI website. And I want to share with you a little bit of audit data. And this is going to be interesting to you. And we're putting out this information because I know many of you are also interested when it comes to auditing. So standards and certification are all have the audit element in it. So we'll be talking a little bit about that. And then finally, some time for Q&A. But before we move on, I have a quick poll that I will like to run. And Ali, if you can please help me out. What prompted you to join this webinar? I would like to know. I usually have, this is the second time we're doing this, so I usually have different interests. Usually it's because perhaps a customer is asking for this certification. It's those, the major retailers are asking already, or will be asking, or are interested in understanding what are their suppliers doing regarding pest management. So thank you. We have somebody who wants to learn more about IPM. That's great. Let's see if we have somebody else that would like to answer. So the questions on the poll are, what inspired you to join? One question, what inspired you to join this webinar? Okay. And the other question, if you choose other, tell us a little bit about why. Okay. Right. So the general consensus is that you want to learn more about IPM. Great. Thank you, Alexandra. We can share the results if you want to. Great. Okay. So let's learn a little bit more about IPM. And this is all from the EFI's perspective. Right, let me close this. Okay, great. So what is the connection between EFI's Social Responsibility Certification Program and Integrated Pest Management? What is the underlying reason that what does one thing have to do with another? Because integrated pest management is very technical, right? Why? Where's the connection? So the connection is farm workers or workers. We believe that through worker training and skill building, we are able to build ways that enable the organizations, the operations, to be highly focused on preventing and minimizing risk to human health, both from the worker perspective and then also from the consumer's perspective. So there's two principles there. One is worker safety. Workers are the ones who are the pesticides applicators, and then also we have that the consumer responsibility of making sure that crops use the less amount of pesticides possible, and that there is a close monitoring of what type of pesticides are used in these crops. I will not get into much technicality, but definitely address more on continue to reinforce what is the connection, and also why are we so focused on worker safety as well. Frontline workers who handle the products also can give feedback to sustainability efforts in real time. So through EFI's principle of fostering worker-manager collaboration, these frontline workers can provide feedback to their organizations on how the pesticides application is working, what could work best, what is looking like that is something that is actually producing the results that they're seeking, what is not. And this is in real time, but there needs to be a space created for workers to provide this feedback and to provide ideas on how to make this process better, how to monitor it better. So through the EFI social responsibility certification, there is where we foster this collaboration. Let me walk you through EFI's integrated pest management standard fundamentals. So what is the core, or what is the core principle around integrated pest management? So first of all, the IPM standards are part of the social standard certification. However, it is not a standalone certification. So EFI offers not only the social standard certification, but also it's and this is voluntary, it can add the IPM standards certification as well. Both of those are through an audit process. So there is an audit conducted for social standards and also for integrated pest management. Through the audit process, there is a corrective action process, and then there is the certification. But basically, the IPM is assessed through an audit process. Regarding content, integrated pest management, or IPM, is the basis for all pest management decisions. So this is at the grower level or operation level. The integrated pest management is where a number of factors come in, and ideally, they're there to help the grower to make informed decisions about pest application. It's also a process used to solve pest problems while minimizing risks to people and the environment. IPM focuses on long-term prevention through the ecosystem management. And I'm going to go into some detail about the indicators that the EFI's IPM standards speak to. And this is, you will see that the standards and its whole, it's an ecosystem of tracking numbers, tracking information, and with that information, it gives the grower a big picture, and it helps them to decide about their pesticide application process. The IPM standards consist of 22 indicators. These are divided in 4 sections. We have the pest management, and it's as it is, soil management, water management, and worker involvement. And it has to do with environment. In this last one, this is where we emphasize a lot on what is the preventive measures that workers need to take into consideration when pesticides have been applied. What is the worker safety initiatives? What is worker training? How is the training conducted? Also, what are those feedback sessions where workers can come in and provide feedback to their management or their supervisors regarding pest management? You will be able to look at the IPM standards and take a look at the content of it in our website. And thank you, Ali. You can find the standards if you look at the chat. We have also put in the link there for the for information on not only EFI but also to the EFI standards. Again, these indicators are reviewed through an audit process, right? And each of these indicators are specific to tracking information, a lot of keeping information from applications, and also EFI promotes the use of a tool for tracking this information. And let me show you a little bit more this audit data. So I'm sharing this audit data just for you to understand a little bit more. And this might be a little bit confusing, but my point here is that during the audit process, there are consistent challenges for the operations in compliance with some of these requirements. And it is usually only because the tools, the process is very new, and growers need to start using these tools in order to comply. So one of them, I'll speak about the top three non-conforming indicators. The number one is having an integrated pest management plan, and also using a tool, which is the pesticides risk tool. Using that tool is usually something new for everybody, and I don't know, I think the day-to-day can be a little bit overwhelming, and it makes it hard for everybody to start using and start tracking this information. So I would say that is one of the top non-conforming. However, EFI has material supporting documentation guidelines for growers on how to start using this tool, and also how to start implementing the tool. Another challenging indicator that is a little bit hard for growers at the beginning to start using is a documented pest management activities. And if it's connected to the integrated pest management plan. So again, tracking, documenting can be at the beginning a little bit challenging. So, but once the operation or the grower or starts doing these activities and start recording and taking notes of what the plan is and following the plan and making notes about it, it makes it easier for them to comply with the requirement. And then the final one, and I'm sorry, I just realized that I'm missing a one there, Pest Management 1.1. Is the having a current IPM plan. It has to be updated, and that it is updated in a way that it addresses practices used to prevent and avoid pest problems and control measures for key pests that might require intervention to produce a successful crop. So having updated data can be challenging at the beginning. We have seen at the beginning of the certification process, but once growers start getting a better grip of what is this requirement and how to implement it, they can easily overcome this and comply with the requirement. Yeah, so I'll stop here and see if anybody has any questions.
Hi, Carla. We have a question, so I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
How do the EFI IPM standards help minimize risk to people and the environment?
That is a very good question. So I would say my immediate first response is through a consistent process of record keeping and analysis. IPM standards through the year out audit process and through monitoring the compliance with these standards would help the grower track and analyze what they're doing for their crop according to their production cycle. So that ensures that a grower is looking at the risks, and ensuring that the risks are reduced, and make sure that everybody, both workers, crops, and the consumer are safe. So through accurate and consistent and very well managed of tracking of all activities will help definitely in that process.
Thank you. I have another question here. The question says, I work for a small operation with limited staff, but I want to start monitoring pest application. What are some of the best first steps?
That is a great question as well. I was looking at all this information regarding pest management, and there's so many tools. There's in the internet, and you can even start with the pesticide risk tool. There is a small fee to access to that tool, but through the IPM Institute, you can find options and resources to start monitoring and to start learning more about pesticide requirements, pesticide impact, how to effectively track, how to make sound decisions also. So if you're new and starting in this process, then I would recommend that the IPM Institute is your, I mean, at least for us, right? That would be a good place to start.
Thank you, Carla. We have another great question here. How does the EFI Social Responsibility Certification promote collaboration between workers and management regarding the pest management issues?
Oh, that's great. Yeah, so EFI certification process is a worker training and skill building certification. What do I mean by that? So our number one priority is help the operation through training establish a worker manager collaboration team. That team, the purpose of that team is that in that space, workers are able to workers and managers are able to come together as a team and exchange ideas for improvement in their processes and their procedures and their policies. So workers are able to talk about not only anything related to worker well-being, but also bring to the table issues or concerns that they might have about pest management, about food safety, about health and safety, in which they can exchange ideas with their supervisors, with their managers, and find options and options for solutions that would help and benefit all the organization. So it's a way of exchanging ideas. It's a way of fostering conversations, and it's a good way to listen to the frontline workers that really know the operation very well and can provide insights that probably supervisors or managers are not able to see because they're not doing that type of work. So yeah, I would say that would be my answer.
Thank you. There is another question that just came through. They say, my company is interested in pursuing the certification and we would like to add the IPM standards. Where do we start?
Right. Oh, that's great. Thank you for that interest. First of all, I will encourage you to look at our website. I would also encourage you to leave us your contact information here in the chat. Alexandra can put both our email addresses. Also, we have one general email address, and you can reach out to us. And well, in this case, Alexandra will be the right person to reach out to also. And we can walk you through all the requirements. But basically, there is a training requirement that needs to take place. Then once the training is completed, audit follows. We have a corrective action process in place to address any nonconformances. And after that is completed, then we have, you will receive the certification for both social standards and pest management. I want to confirm also that major retailers accept not only our social standards certification, but also the pest management certification as well. For example, Walmart, Costco, Target, Whole Foods. Ale, help me out if I'm missing anybody.
A Holdel Hayes will be the other one. Kroger, I will say too.
Yes, yeah, those. Thank you.
Thank you. For the moment, I'm not seeing more questions.
Right. So, Ale, do you think I should add anything else? Did I leave anything out? We have the links to the standards. We have links to our page. We have also the email address that you can connect with us at. And I think this presentation will also be available, right, for anybody who's interested?
That's correct. We will send you the recording to everyone who registered, and we will include all the links that we share via chat, so you can always have that available for you.
Right. Well, thank you very much to all. I believe this is right, 30 minutes on the dot. I appreciate you all for joining me in this webinar, and I'll see you next time.